Hey, welcome back. A quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. Now, I am in the playback mode here, and after the fact, anyone can come up with winning trades and all kinds of justifications, but practicing to follow the good strategies and rules will help us in live trading. So, also the emotions, fear, greed, FOMO, etc., can be different during live trading. So make it a habit to be mindful of right patterns and setting the stops at right locations. I mostly create these videos for my own practice. By watching it again, I make it a habit to recognize the right setups and follow the rules properly in real time. So one thing I do here is I adjust the scale to a fixed scale so that I can kind of consistently look for the right range of bars and also kind of visually see where my stops and targets are, and I usually keep it like 5 points that I can see in here for NQ, and down below here is the cumulative delta, and I also have the super trend indicator, which I don't use that much, but it is there just as a reference for support and resistance points. And it has the alert setup that whenever it closes above this short term super trend line, it beeps that signal. So also first few minutes of market open, I don't trade because it is hard to gauge the direction, as well as it won't give a good stop points or the invalidation points. I'm also using this ATM here, which is 38 ticks as the stop and 42 ticks as the profit, which is about 1:1. Ideally you can have 1:2 risk to reward ratio. This purple line here is the VWAP. So market opened. This line so far is the current daily low, and that can provide a good support if you want to take a chance and go long there. But here is the pivots support, first support, and it can come all the way there also. I mean, there is no guarantee, of course. So what happens if I just take a short here, assuming it has broken down this support right here, and this could be the stop.
Order filled.
So top of this bar is the stop, and my target is right here at the daily low. I could have gotten a better fill by using a limit order or something. I'm going to
Target filled.
I was about to move it to the break even, and if I want to be really aggressive, I can go long here, assuming this daily low will hold, but that is the overnight low, and which can very easily be broken, which it has. And if I want to go another short here, using this as the stop. I could, but it has already moved so much. Cumulative delta is going low, so this is in favor of going short, but it's just that volatility is high and I don't see any good invalidation points, or even if there is a invalidation point, that will be a too wide of a stop. I could short here if it comes back
Order
all the
submitted.
way there, then I can use this as the stop. Still it is a little bit random, or if there is a good retracement to this EMA or something, that would be a good location to go short as well. Otherwise I'm not going to chase all the way there.
Order
And I'm
cancelled.
cancelling that. Okay, here is the stop, but until I see some kind of a retracement, not going to buy. And this could go either way. So even if I get a small bodied candle, it can continue down further, or it can start the retracement and the reversal. So we need some kind of confirmation from cumulative delta or another follow through candle. So waiting till the close of this bar. Okay, that bar closed, so that is either a hammer or a doji, so probably I can try to
Order
buy one
submitted.
here, so I have a good invalidation point here, and giving it a little bit more room. I can go all the way till the top of this bar to get a fill. So far it is not filling. This is the maximum I am going to go on this, because now if I chase it further, this stop will be almost at 33 to 11, so 20 point stop, which is huge.
Order filled.
So giving it just a little bit room, but not more than that. And I can do this. So that could be a little bit greedy, so I'm just going to stay at the top of this bar, and I'm expecting at least that much retracement. It could be even higher, but don't want to be too greedy. And I'm going to do this to break even.
Target filled.
So another way to do this here is, take true trades and move first one, take profit here, and the other one move it to break even, and then just wait. But that will also increase the risk, as well as a little bit more complicated order management. So just to keep it simple, I will just go with one position and take trades at good locations, and my target is about 600 to 1k per account. I can copy it to multiple accounts and then be done for the day. So far we are only 10 minutes into trading. Cumulative delta is negative, but I see some reversal here. So one possibility right now here is, this could be, this is too early to say whether this will be the low of the day or not. And our VWAP is here. And this, because this seems to be the start of this downtrend, so at this point we might, and this orange bar. Here is the where it opened, and there could be some reaction at this level. So if it comes back here, you can take one short
Order submitted.
and use this as the stop, which is maybe a 10-point stop will be somewhere here. So I don't know if there will be some kind of a reaction at this point. So right now it is hard to say whether to go long here or take a short here. So if I were to go long, we need some kind of a small bodied candle with long tail or something. So for example this one,
Order submitted.
and if it gets back here, now for this long the stop has to be right here. Anyway, no fill.
Order filled.
Okay, so we are in the order and I'm keeping the stop right here.
Target filled.
Anyway, that was quick. So the basis for this particular trade again here is some kind of a reaction or a resistance here when it was trying to go above this overnight low, and then this is where it pre-market resistance, and I still have the short entered somewhere near the VWAP. So why don't I just chase or go long here and let it reach VWAP, but there is no guarantee that it may or may not. So since it has reversed so nicely, there could be one pullback before it continues further, or it can still hit the VWAP and continue low also. But looking at the cumulative delta, it should be going higher. At the same time, I don't want to go long here. If I go long here, my stop has to be right here at the low of this candle. There is also another concept of fair value gap, which is high of this candle and then this candle will try to meet the high of this. So it is like this, the high of this candle and low of that candle. So this is the fair value gap, and you could place the order somewhere at least halfway here.
Order submitted.
And expecting to go higher, and the stop can be right at the low of this bar. So I'm going to cancel
Order
this
cancelled.
one. So looking at this trend, this is a very counter trend trade. Only supporting factors are the VWAP and the start of these two bars here, and not going to chase and not going to adjust the stop or anything. So this is a good indication if I get a long tail or the wick at the top. At the same time, now I can chase it down here. If I come to 30, my stop will be only 10-point stop will be here. My stop will be wider. So instead of that, if I don't get a fill, that's fine. Now this pullback can be a continuation because you don't know whether it can, instead of VWAP, it can also go till pivot point. So there is no reason to take extra risk. So if I were to jump in right now, I might think that this reversal has started, but at the same time this could also act as a continuation. I'm going to keep this entry at the top of this bar here, which basically is this bar. Okay, we have another small bird candle. So ideally I could take a short right here, and we are also approaching 9 o'clock, even though there are not any major reports due today. At the top of the hour sometimes there can be either reversal or continuation decisions made, so not going to make any aggressive moves here. So now if this works as a continuation, it may not reverse at VWAP. So this is an aggressive entry, and it might stop out if it fills. Okay, so this is close enough. At the close of this bar, I will, if it's not filled, I will move my short to the top of this bar, the high of this bar. 10 seconds to go.
Order filled.
Alright, so keeping the stop right there, and then the target is, this is good enough, even though I can move it down a little bit. So looking at the cumulative delta and everything, this is an aggressive trade, and it can very easily stop out.
Target filled.
Okay, that did work, but now what? Ideally from now till 9, 10, it's better to wait on the sidelines, because this could reverse from here or it could continue. And also looking at this good reversal, it can, if you draw Fibonacci, it might come back 50%, or it may not also. And also this super trend support lines, it might pull back all the way there and then continue. Either way, as it approaches 9 o'clock, I don't want to take any trades right now, unless I find a very good, very small stop points. If it is not for the 9 o'clock, this would be a good
Order submitted.
location to go long, but I may be a little bit late. So the idea with this entry here is, it gives a good small stop here, unless it's going to reverse further.
Order cancelled.
When I see the continuation like this and cumulative delta being strong, if it is a pure sideways, Then I could go short here and try to cover it here, but given this scenario, and this is a strong reversal, pull back and then continuation, so there is no point going short here. So this one, as a first test, you could expect some kind of a reaction there. So this one was okay, but now anything here, you don't want to take a second test chance. It might work one more time, but it's very likely to go higher unless everything falls like this. If it goes like this, so this is the 9 o'clock bar, and that is why there was so much range. Also there may be a minor low impact report. Our next goal is to wait till at least 9:05 or 9:10, unless we see a very small bodied candle like this. So there could be some reaction from this pivot point or pullback and continuation. Either way, I don't want to take any short here, either, considering this cumulative delta being strong, and don't want to take long yet either. If this VWAP, this acts as a resistance and there may be more pullback, so giving it few more minutes. But if it comes back to this
Order
area,
submitted.
can go long for sure, because then the stop will be very small here. Okay, now that I see this small bodied candle, I'm going to move this here, and my invalidation point will be right here, around the 10 points from there, if I get a fill.
Order filled.
Okay, we are filled. I'm going to increase just a bit, but not more than this. And I could target the top of this bar open, like there, but I'm okay with this original stop. And in fact, at the close of this bar, I'm actually going to reduce this a little bit here.
Target filled.
Yeah, I'm good with that, because sometimes when you see these long wicks, it may not reach all the way there immediately. I might as well come back and take another trade, right? Not the sell, it needs to be a buy.
Order submitted.
Anyway, so I could have just taken the market order if I wanted to get a good fill, but I could not enter properly in time because wherever I clicked it had already moved below, so it was giving me only the buy stop or sell limit options. Well, couple of options to get immediate fill was to move this limit order more or click the buy market. Either way it could have worked. I'm going to
Order
cancel,
cancelled.
and pretty much the daily target is well above met, and I can call it a day, but I'm just going to wait another 20 minutes or so if any good patterns come up. So this area here is still a good location to go long, considering the strong cumulative delta
Order submitted.
and the trend being up, but I'm not going to chase it here until it breaks out of this area. So a couple of scenarios here is, so if this acts as a kind of a range bound location, okay, so it has broken out, so that means I can wait for it to come back here and retest.
Order submitted. Order
Cancel
cancelled.
that.
Order filled.
Then I need to give it a little bit more room, because this breakout could be a failed breakout. So from that point of view, this was a very aggressive, and I may be a bit too early, especially with this pivot point acting as a resistance. So this one I'll try to close it aggressively, or I should not have given more room and take the original stop out. Not going to add another one here, because that will increase the risk, as well as if that's going to stop, I have to accept that risk. So again, the good entry point was still this small bodied candle, and then I could, even if I give a little bit more room, my stop will be not too wide. So if it's going to stop out, let it stop out. So this breakout was also not even, it had not closed above this consolidation area, so I should have waited for at least till it is closed above the consolidation area. So overall I could say that this breakout type of breakout and retest, that is not a very reliable location. I think relying on these candles and these wicks is a better location. And couple of other locations that worked out well was this one acting as the good resistance there, and the first trade after this, that worked out okay. And this here could have been a short, we might have thought of taking a short also, but this stop being so wide, and considering this as a continuation, went long there. This was the initial long, that worked out okay. This again after the
Stop
breaking down
filled.
of the overnight low. So overall this is the one trade that failed. So a couple of mistakes that happened here is, one is, okay, did not wait for this bar to close. Secondly, this is not a good location, wait for this, at least use this candle. Thirdly, I increased the original stop, and that's why this loss is also more. But if I taken this and gave the original stop, that would be a better location. And now I could say that I should have widened the stop even more, but that is even more risky, because if it keeps going down, your loss will be higher. So the point to remember as well as things to practice here is the location of the entry and widening the stop, both were not good. So my idea that this consolidation has broken out and it will retest and continue. It might still continue but not immediately. So for that reason, wait for this entire area to clear out, or even if I want to trade here, trade at the bottom of this range still. The only reason I entered there was I thought this consolidation has broken out, but it will take some more time if it is going to break out. So the other idea here is using these small bodied candle, go short here, but again the stop for that will be all the way there, and cumulative delta is still strong and it would be too risky to short at this point. So the other possibility here is if it's going to come down, I want it to break through this super trends support and ideally this support. Until then, it's better to stay out of any short trades. If I want to trade short, no need to jump in at the very peak, right? Because sometimes that will be against the trend and it might continue. Instead, there will be plenty of other opportunities if it starts going down. So wait for those opportunities. So this candle here can act as a continuation as well as a reversal point. So most likely, considering this, it will be a continuation. So I can go
Order
long
submitted.
there. But again, the stop will be wide, so we may not get a fill. Also, even if we get the fill, the stop will be wide. Other option is keep this as the stop area. So the previous stop out that happened here, if my stop was few more points, so instead of 1 2 3, another 5 points below, it would have saved, but that idea is incorrect because widening the stop is not a good idea unless I have a strong reason. If it does not fill here, that's okay. One idea was for chasing this was there considering the strong delta, but we will wait for the other opportunities. So now it has broken out of this consolidation area and it has closed above there, and if you want to enter somewhere here, when it pulls back to this area, you can, or wait for other candles. So my idea right now here is to considering this as the pullback and keeping this as the stop, but I should have acted a little bit more quickly there also. So the next idea here is to use the fair value gap here. This is little bit risky, but the stop has to be honored right here, or you could
Order
bring
filled.
the limit could be right here instead of the top of the bar. So at the close of this bar, I want to take that out as well as move the stop up, moving it to break even, but it might stop me out.
Stop filled.
Okay, so either couple of things. Either I should have moved the stop to the break even, so I could have saved the stop once it goes up. Second is, instead of chasing it to enter there, you could have still waited here, and so I think that's what I should do. Keep the original stop, the entry point right there, and then that way I could keep the stop here. Or other option is move the stop up. Move the stop to the break even as soon as it is in the profit by at least 5 points. So right now this bar here is still a good entry point.
Order submitted.
In fact, it needs to be one little bit low. If it's not going to fill, that's okay. Another fill location is top of these bars here, but that can still pull all the way back here, so there is no point taking that risk. So clearly only a few points and few errors can cause significant drawdown, and so entry here and this stop out, which is by only like 5 points, and the entry here and this stop out, which was only by about 2 points, make me think as if my stop needs to be wider, but giving the wide stop can be very very risky, only because if they can easily add up, and if there are more stop outs, then it will cause higher drawdowns. But better execution is the better alternative, which is the better entry point basically. So that way, one is if it is not filled, that's okay, but if it is filled, you will have a ideal stop location. So at this point here, I don't expect it to come all the way here, but on the other hand, I don't want to take a short here either against this. And this is actually the initial hour high, but the overnight it had gone up till here, and that is why there is no initial hour high marked here. So at the close of this bar, this can act as
Order submitted. Order cancelled. Order filled.
could give it a little bit more room, and that will make it almost 15-16 point stop, which is if this stop is hit, that will basically almost take out all the gains for the day. So the good entry point again was here. Instead of looking at that tail, should have looked at this area. And right now I just want to get out of the top of this bar if it reaches there.
Target filled.
So right now we don't know if this is like the first hour high. Don't know if it is going to reverse. Even if it reverses, it might come to the opening range and then continue. And that will give a good opportunity to enter again. So until then, it's better to just wait and watch. So if this
Order
area
submitted.
holds,
Order
that will be
filled.
a good location to go long again.
Target filled.
Now I could go short here again, expecting it to oscillate one more time here, but the stop for that will be quite wide, so I'm not going to take that trade right now. Okay, there could be subsequent opportunities, but I will wrap up here. The trades that worked well are the good directional ones. Then that did not work are the locations. This did work and this did work, but this stopped out. This stopped out by just a couple of ticks or maybe a couple of points, and only, even though I could widen the stop, it's better to have a better location, the better entry. So same thing here. So those two trades and also widening the stop actually hurt more than it helped, and that widening of the stop could have been even further more, but that ultimately, you know what I'm saying, it increases the risk further, so that is not a good cycle to be in. Alright, so I think that's it for this one, and you can come back after a nice break, or to see if there are any good patterns. If not, call it a day.